whether it be the last game and then the playoff game. But, yeah, definitely a rival of ours.
So last week, obviously, against Blue Springs, the old adage, that's why they play the games. It didn't exactly go according to formula. Everybody expecting a big offensive blowout. It ends up 7-6.
Yeah, I thought our defense really stepped up that game and played well and created a couple turnovers that were vital to the win. And in offense, that moved the ball. It just we had a tough time putting it in the end zone, but at times we were very effective, and we'll take the win.
Absolutely, and that was a game in which the last few weeks we have shown a susceptibility to the run, and it was obvious from the get-go that defensively we were going to basically dare them to pass it on us. That we said you're not going to be able to run on us.
Yeah, that was a game plan, and I thought we were very physical. I thought that was the big difference in the game. Not only the X's and O's, but just the defense coming out and really just hitting Blue Springs. And one guy I'll call out is Andrew Cahill, who had 3 or 4 monster hits in that game as a defensive back coming up. And just overall, the whole defense, we felt like we ran to the ball and tackled well.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. He was our player of the game for exactly that reason.
Yeah, he was ours too. He was our impact player of the week.
So this week, obviously, Ray-Peck and already a little monkey wrench into things. As it turns out, their starting quarterback not going to go, and that probably changes the style of play we're going to likely see.
Yeah, 2 is more of a runner in their different offensive sets. 16 is more of their pocket passer, and he has a really good arm. He's a tall kid. And then I'm looking at the kid that they brought up, their number 24, their freshman quarterback, and he's a specimen over there. He looks like he's 6'5", 6'6". So we expect him to throw the ball, and that's what we got to defend it.
Well, you guys proved last week you can defend the run, and so they're going to see game films just like anybody else.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. All the various games we've either done really well in the secondary or poor up front, and vice versa. And what do you call? What's your game plan? Are you going to run? Are you going to pass it? So we've got to have a solid outing defensively, and we've got to prepare for the run and definitely be ready for the pass tonight.
Now, as far as our offense is concerned, you mentioned last week, it's not like we didn't get any yardage, but we had a hard time getting points. How does that change this week?
Well, I think we still want to establish a run this week, as always, and it's we got to put the ball in the end zone, and I think we'll recover from that. And obviously we moved the ball, but again we just came short of the goal line. Hopefully we can get it in tonight.
All right, so obviously this is the last week of the regular season. Playoffs start next week, and it's one of these odd situations where we are sitting pretty at the top of the district, but due to a somewhat bizarre rule, it looks like no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to finish in first because of the team who finishes in second. Yeah,
it looks like we'll be the second seed because North will jump us. That gives us a couple home games. And puts us in a pretty good position of obviously we'd like to be the number 1 seed, but it is what it is, and we're just going to have to play football.
And I realize it's not like you have any control over what Misha does as far as rules are concerned, but it seems odd to me that they have this set up. It's one thing to have a tiebreaker that is involving head-to-head competition, but to have it kick in whether there's a tiebreaker involved or not seems a little weird, because I can very easily see a scenario where a team could finish 8-1 and end up behind a 5-4 team.
Yeah, it's very odd, and in the past they used to have a vote on it from the teams that were involved, but it's not like that. It's an automatic jump, and it's a weird situation, but like I said, it is what it is, and we got to play football.
I can see why so many areas you end up in courts nowadays as opposed to on football fields.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so any keys to the game we should be looking out for?
Yeah, we've got to first of all control the ball offensively, and that's, like I said before, we need to establish a run game, and then let Ben and his receivers do their magic in the air. Defensively, I think if we win the turnover battle again, that's really gonna help us, obviously. And then we've got to run to the ball. We've got to be that Titan defense that we can be.
And injuries?
Vonzel Kelly is out this evening. He suffered another shoulder injury, so we've got plans for for backups with him.
All right. In the past, Sammy Cooper has sometimes drawn double duty for that.
Yeah, so it'll be a combination of Jackson Bunker, Sammy Cooper, and Cade Clemens.
All right, and the weather, obviously, for a change, we don't have any wet situations. It's not all that cold. It's actually perfect football weather. The one thing that could become a factor, just checking it out right now, is the wind. Not because it's so strong, but because it's going to be a little, I'm thinking less in the passing game and more in the kicking game. It could be an issue because it looks hard to judge.
Yeah, we've always got to be wary of the wind, and I think it's supposed to drop down. I think it's 11 miles per hour right now. At 7, it's looking like it's going to be from 7 to 8 miles per hour. So it could be a factor, but we're hoping that it dies down.
All right, well, good luck. Should be fun tonight.
Thank you, Joel.
All right, that's Coach Vinny Careswell. I'm Joel Becker. Back with more after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back out here to Panther Stadium in Ray-Pec. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Boehm as the Lee Summit West Titans getting set to take on the Ray-Pec Panthers in the regular season finale, preparation for the playoffs. You know, the funny thing is, because of what we talked about with Coach Careswell and the district situation, this probably turns out to be a completely meaningless game for the Titans from the perspective of whether we win or lose, we're going to finish in the same spot in the districts most likely, because finishing first doesn't help us because Lee Summit North will jump over us.
You're right, but I think Vinny.
I mean, that doesn't mean you don't want to win or anything.
Yes, I think that I think Vinny could be telling his team that they possibly do have a chance. You know, just to keep them motivated to go out and play hard tonight.
So I'm just curious, as a coach, if you were a head coach and you decided that you were gonna
throw the game,
no, if you decided you were going to give a little white lie to the team to motivate them by telling them that they still had a chance to finish in first, what would you do if one of the players called you on it? You know, if you have a player out there that just, because, you know, I didn't play football competitively or anything like that when I was a kid, but I did play hockey and I did play baseball, and had a coach done something like that, I would have been stupid enough to have contradicted it and said, gee, coach, you know, the way the rules work, that's not possible. There's no way for us to.
And today, with social media the way that it is, the kids already know.
Which I was going to say,
they already know that they're probably going to be a number 2 seed. And so there is no sense of.
But would you be mad at the kid for calling you out?
Well, maybe.
I would.
Especially if it was my own boys.
They probably would have, actually, knowing them. So I tell you what, this Ray-Pec team, as we're waiting here for another maybe half a minute before they go out for the coin toss, they apparently went to the Staley School of Uniform Design.
Well, Mark Files loves this uniform.
Well, not only do they have the dark uniforms with the somewhat dark, the numbers are not actually just, you know, they're like the old Staley ones were green. These are camouflage. They're actually designed for you not to be able to see them, to blend in. They are. They literally are digital camouflage on the numbers. Yeah. Should have the kids zoom in on the numbers so they can tell. But anyway. So yeah, heading out for the coin toss, and yeah, it's a tough one. And like I said, the other thing, I don't know how much of a factor it'll end up being tonight, is that it's senior night.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's go back to the rivalry that these two teams have. Year in, year out, there's been times that West was supposed to win and Ray-Pec would beat us, and vice versa. So this is a must-win for the Titans tonight, and need to put a good pounding on them.
Well, and you want to go into the playoffs on a good note. I mean, you don't want to get anybody hurt or anything like that, but at the same time, you want to be playing at your best when you go into the playoffs. You, of all people, ought to know what it's like to have meaningless games before you play playoff games.
Oh, no doubt.
Because I remember years when we were in Class 4 especially, and in Class 5 as well, where we would go a month without taking a meaningful snap, before we would end up in a playoff situation or a district situation or whatever, and then all of a sudden you'd have to turn it on. You're suddenly playing an Ozark team or something that's really good after not playing anybody who was,
Ladies and gentlemen,
the Panthers won the toss and deferred. So the Titans will get the football when we come back. It's Lee Summit West and Ray-Pec. Our opening kickoff is right around the corner right here on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Welcome back live here at Panther Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Babe, Lee Summit West, Ray-Pec. Titans will get the football to start the game off. Although I said before, the wind was a little swirly when I was down there doing the coaches. It wasn't that it was so hard, although it wasn't soft either, as Gabe Sappington has it teed up on the 40-yard line.
Sappington. My gosh. They're still coming out of the woodwork.
Aren't they, though? And the kick coming down. Cooper will take it right at the goal line, and they're allowing him to come out. Looked like he stepped in. Well, he did step back in, but I think the ball stayed out. And he'll get back to the 15, and so the Titans actually poor field position as we get started. So we'll see. You heard the coach talking last week about the fact that they, were able to move the football for most of the game here and there, but couldn't seem to find the end zone. It's a little reminiscent of what ended up happening to the Chiefs in the early part of their game last week.
But again, he nailed it right on when he talked about the defense. They just played outstanding last week.
Yeah. All right, so they come out in the pistol formation with Max Payne getting the start behind Coble. Trips on the left side. On 1st and 10 from their own 15. And a delayed give. It's Payne up the middle. He's got a pretty good hole. Goes straight up, still trying to move the pile forward to about the 28, maybe the 27. Let's give him 8 yards on the gain. 2nd and 2. Pretty good start on the ground.
Not bad at all.
So we'll see.
Good line surge right there, too.
Yeah,
nice, it was a nice delay, and he could really find his hole.
Yeah, the front line certainly opened up a pretty big hole there, and then they followed him up as well. So on 2nd and short, it'll be Payne on the throw over to Carswell. He makes the catch. And out of bounds as he gets to the 33-yard line. It was the zone read, and he pulled it away from Payne and then threw it on a little flare pass over to Carswell. That's probably the best positive yard catch that Cam has gotten this year. They've targeted him a few times. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Titans on the Ray-Pec 33. Empty backfield this time for Coble. And they come blitz. They throw. It's Cooper incomplete. Threw it over his head. And pretty good coverage over there. I'm not sure he would have been able to get much had he made the catch.
Yeah. Plus that high throw, too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. With the high throw, even if he'd somehow come down with it, he wouldn't have had a chance to even get set before somebody would have hit him. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Just underway here, first quarter. We've played 55 seconds. And it's 2nd and 10 from the Titan 33 for Lee Summit West. Trips on the right from the pistol, and it is a give up the middle this time. I think that was Wilson.
Goes to Max Payne.
Or is it Payne again?
Max Payne.
Yeah, it was Payne again, excuse me, and he got 2 yards. It'll set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8.
Gain at 2, it'll be 2nd.
So you don't want to see the Titans stall out quickly or anything. We'll see what they can do here. The swirly wind, like I said, if it does end up affecting the kicking game, could conceivably also affect the passing game.
It sure could.
But we'll have to wait and see. Coble, twins on either side. One man to his right, that's Marshall. And back to throw. He's looking, got time. He'll roll to the right. He could run for it. Looks like he's going to try up the middle. Oh, and he was tripped up as he got to the 40-41. It's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first on his own 41. Sutherland made the tackle, and, he was ready to sidestep him and just got enough of him.
He did. He tripped him up, and honestly, if it wasn't for that trip up, he would have had a first down.
Oh, yeah, easily. In fact, if he had made the decision a little quicker, I think he would have had that first down easier. By the time he obviously committed to the run, that allowed the other team, the Panthers, to step up a little bit. Clemens standing back at his own 27. It's always the chance of a fake on a 2-yard situation, although they only have 2 deep men, but it is going to be Clemens on the fake, and he's going to get tackled shy of the 40-yard line. That was a little too easy to read, I think.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I don't understand that play right there this early in the ball game.
Well, to me, I think if it was that important you to go for it, based on how your running game was going, why not just send your offense out and get 2 yards?
And then why not do the true fake? I mean, the true look like you're going to punt.
Right.
So it sucks people back. But he just tucked it right away and ran.
Yeah, went straight ahead. So, big first momentum switch for the Panthers. And we'll see what they do here on 1st and 10. Big quarterback, Hawley. And the give around the left side. And a pretty good gain on the initial play. That was Fager with the run.
Made by Jackson Bonker. That'll be good enough for
and it'll set up a 1st and 10 from the Titan 21.
It's a 22.
Or 22 or so. This kid, Conrad Hawley, is their backup quarterback. Their starter as, another give up the middle. And pretty good running again.
Takes it out of the 11-yard line.
That's Cabe Shanklin, who wasn't listed on my depth chart, but he actually had both of those carries.
Well, this is exactly why
you don't do what he
don't
did.
do what just took place there, because now you get giving the momentum to Ray-Peck right now.
Yeah, and clearly in a position for some points on this opening drive for them. Still early on, 9:05 to go first quarter. And a toss and a sweep, and Shanklin, and he's tackled as he got inside the 10.
Shanklin takes it inside the 10-yard line.
Maybe down to the 9 or 8. It'll set up a 2nd down from there.
Back on the stop, Christian Wilson also went on the stop for the Titans.
So, like I said, we were expecting
3 on the play, 2nd and 7 from the 8-yard line.
Grant Miller, their starter, to be quarterback. He was hurt and couldn't make it. Boy, this kid is tall, isn't he?
He is.
They didn't find a full-size pair of pants for him, looks like. Give up the middle, and a big hole close to the end zone, but a little shy to Brandon Reyes. And he'll take him down to the 1, where I believe it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, 6'5".
First and goal.
Good quarterback, yeah.
The 1-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, his pants barely come down to his knees. It's almost a little reminiscent of the Josh Freeman game. You remember that?
Oh, yes.
How big he was compared to everybody else. 1st and goal from the 1. Under center, give Reyes toward the end zone. Waiting for the indication. Ray-Peck thought it was a touchdown, but the officials say otherwise. It's going to be 2nd down and inches. Clock running with 7:35 left to go here in the first quarter. But they've got 3 more chances to punch it in from less than a half a yard out. Single back again, H-back to the right. Reyes is the deep back. Under center, they give to Reyes. Big hold, touchdown. Walked in untouched. And the Panthers strike first, lead at 6-0. And almost practically handed that by the Titans.
Yes, they did. My goodness.
I mean, I suppose you could give Vinny Carswell a certain amount of credit for believing in his defense, which didn't actually turn out to be a good call, but... So Sappington out here for the extra point. Waiting the snap. Snap back, ball down, the kick up high long, and it is good. 7:18 left to go here, first quarter. And with a short field, the Panthers strike first. They lead it 6-0. I'm sorry, 7-0. Right here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Panther Stadium in Ray-Peck. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Bames, 7:18 to go here. First quarter, we've played less than 5 minutes. And the Panthers out to a 7-0 lead. We told you could throw the records out the window, and that's what's going on here as this kick goes well into the end zone for a touchback.
That's a Sappington kick that we remember.
And I tell you what, the choice of a fake punt on 4th and 2 from their own 42, leading to a very short field for this Panther team. And then not only did they have the short field, you still have to convert, and they didn't even come close to having to punt the ball away or try a field goal or something like that. They ran it straight down.
And like Mark said, that they thought they were going to have to come out and stop the pass, but hell, they didn't have to pass.
Yeah, we haven't seen one yet. So the Titans get a second crack at it here from an offensive standpoint. They got 1 first down and then went for it on 4th and 2, but on a fake punt situation. Rolling to the right side. And it is Coble. He'll keep it. And boy, he was hit a little bit late there as he got it up to the 27 or so. That's going to be a gain of 7. Is it just me, or was that hit a little late?
It looked a little late.
Yeah.
It did.
I mean, he drove forward, and even if you slide, it doesn't protect you in high school. Right. But he was clearly down before the guy jumped on him. That was Hanneman, I believe.
He missed Trevor Cardell on backside wide open.
Quads on the left side for this play. Empty backfield for Coble on 2nd and short. Looking to the left. He cocks, but sinks and then throws. He's got Cardell this time, and he overthrew him. But I tell you what, Trevor, it almost looked like he could have caught it even where it was.
Yeah, it looked like he just stopped.
And I don't know why he didn't even reach for it.
No.
I mean, it wasn't like alligator arms or anything. It was like he gave up on the idea he could catch it. I wonder if the wind maybe held that up, and when he first threw it, Trevor just thought it was overthrown.
Could have been.
And then the wind held it up to the point where he actually could have caught it. I don't know. But that's the only explanation I can think of, because it was clearly a catchable ball.
It was.
I mean, I think it was actually an easily catchable ball. Be 3rd and 2. Man in motion, Wilson. They'll give it to him, trying to string it out left side. He gets around the corner, and he'll get a first down. Forced out of bounds as he got across the 30 to about the 33. And it will give the Titans another first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. This is about where they stalled out the last time.
Avery Woodbine with the tackle.
Big thank you out to Mark Files. Had a nice little taco dinner.
I was going to say, for bringing tacos.
Oh, yeah, those were really good.
Did you make them yourself? No. We knew that. All right, modified pistol. It'll be a give. Marcion Marshall. And the quick hitter up the left side off left tackle will be good for about 3. Didn't have much of a hole to go through, but still got a couple 3 yards.
Marcion Marshall with the carry.
Halfway through the first quarter, Ray-Pec with the 7-0 lead. And we get an official timeout. I'm assuming this is an equipment issue of some sort. Yeah, it was a player who lost a shoe.
While we're doing shouts out, I'll give another little shout out to Boston Careswell, probably sitting at home right now watching and listening to the game. Boston went through ACL surgery a couple days ago, so boss, hang in there, buddy.
Always tough.
I tell you what, something about the Careswells in the 8th grade playing football, tearing their ACLs. And now you know what? I'm gonna blame it on Holly. Gotta blame it on Holly.
Issue?
Yeah, because Vinny said he didn't have any injuries growing up. But,
So it had to have come from his mom.
and Holly did tear hers too.
All right, after the official timeout on 2nd down, back to throw Coble, looking over the middle, chucking one down the middle. He's got Clemens, makes the catch, down the middle of the field. He's going to score. Touchdown, Titans. Cade Clemens on a post route right down the middle. 64-yard pitch and catch from Ben Coble to Cade Clemens.
There we go.
And with 7-6 with the extra point to come.
All right, a little bit more excitement on the sideline now, too. I tell you what, it kind of scared him there with Ray-Pec going down and scoring first.
Michael Wiley on to attempt the extra point for the Titans.
Maybe that's why Coach went for it. He figured it would backfire on him and it would motivate his team. Michael Wiley out to try and tie the game up. Clemens the hold, the kick up. And it is good. 5:47 left to go here in this first quarter. We're knotted up at 7. Back with the ensuing kickoff coming up right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Well, it took all of 6 minutes and 13 seconds, and we've already eclipsed the point total from last week's game. 7-7 our score, as Michael Wiley has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and he will step into this and kick a squib down the middle. It is fielded at about the 18, and pretty good coverage to keep him from getting too much further, as that was Luke Grimm on the run. And Grauberger grabbed the leg and wouldn't let go.
Okay, so...
but I still don't understand the squib kick.
I'm just getting ready. Don't understand that.
It's a couple of weeks. I saw him during the warm-up kicking. He'd be kicking into the wind a little bit. But he's still got the leg to put it in the end zone, even in this situation. Waiting for our first pass of the game from Ray-Pec in their standard little bull formation, and it is a give off left tackle and a pretty good run across the 30 to about the 35-yard line.
And up goes to Shanklin, takes it across the 35.
And Gabe Shanklin has been putting on a clinic here running the football.
Yes, he has.
It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 36.
And I tell you what, it's not good when Basil's having to make tackles downfield like that as a D lineman.
No. They come out in a shotgun formation this time. Man comes in motion. And it is the first throw near side. It is caught. Grimm, he makes one man miss. Goes down the sidelines, forced out of bounds as he gets into Titan territory at the 47.
Ball's officially spotted at the Titan 47-yard line.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from there.
1st and 10, Panthers.
So it's our first pass of the game, and Conrad Hawley getting, I think, his first start of probably his career, but certainly of this season. And looking okay so far. Here's Reyes with the give off right tackle. This time the Titans there to stop him after a gain of maybe 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Seems like the Titans defensively a little confused on how to play right now.
And you know what? We've always had trouble stopping Tom Cruise's offense. It's just a misdirection type of offense that Vinny's always struggled with.
And they're showing multiple formations. It's not that standard bull every time like it used to be for the Panthers. Shotgun, and we have movement this time, as it looked like that was Gardner who got a little happy feet there. And a false start will be called against the Panthers. That'll cost them 5 yards and set up a 2nd down and about 14.
It'll be 2nd.
But like I said, about every other play they're in that bowl with the, 2 wing backs and, and 1 fullback behind the quarterback. Now, the difference is this is not a running quarterback like the other, their normal starter is. That doesn't mean he can't do it. It's just not what he's known for. So we're seeing a lot more, we get a reverse. Grimm trying to come around the far side. They're being chased. And is able to be taken out of bounds. Grauberger forced him out. He actually gains positive yards on the play, but he ran about 35 yards to gain 1. And it'll set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 13. So anyway, like I said, aside from the occasional bull plays, the other ones are standard shotgun plays.
Right. And I tell you, Tom has started doing that just the last couple of years, throwing in different packages and stuff.
But it is make it tougher for the defense to figure out how to play.
It does.
And what may be coming. Now, you might imagine it's going to be a throw here on 3rd and 12 as they gave him an extra yard. Man in motion, Reyes, empty backfield. And this is Hawley rolling left side. He looks to run. He's caught and hit and tackled as he gets across to about the Titan 46.
And that's a sophomore for you, too, right there, because there were some wide open guys for him to toss it to.
And it's funny, as tall as he is, it's not like you can't see him.
Right.
But he got happy feet and pulled it down and left, and it'll set up a punting situation.
No, he just wanted to prove you wrong that he could run the ball.
Could be. So, punting situation. 2. Titans are back deep for Lee Summit West. And they will kick it away. Left-footed kicker. Fair catch called for and made by Cooper at the 5-yard line. I don't know why you actually catch the ball at that point.
What happened to the rules where your feet?
Yeah, stand on the 10 and don't let it go. Don't let it go over your head. If it goes over your head, let it bounce.
Well, I guess we must have that much confidence in our offense coming out of there.
Well, hey, last week the only touchdown we got was on a 98-yard drive, wasn't it?
It was.
3:41 left to go, first quarter. Titans coming off of their first scoring drive, 1 out of 2. But they've got the ball on their own 6 to start things off. Trips on the right. Max Payne in the pistol behind Coble. 1 man on the left. On first down, back to throw out of his own end zone. He'll throw, and it is caught. Ooh, hit pretty hard. Little helmet-to-helmet contact there as Goodall made the catch. And McKenzie came up and popped him pretty good. Tell you what, in college football or pro football, that in pro football that's 15 yards. In college football, that's an ejection.
Yep.
I don't think he was. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a malicious play by any stretch. They just had helmet-to-helmet contact, which these days is a no-no. Coble on second down will pull it back from Payne and then throw. He's got a man. It's Cardell. Makes the catch across the 50. Stiff arms a man down to the 25-20. Still on his feet. 10-5. Touchdown Titans. That's going to be 89 yards.
Nice.
Wow, 2 passes for Ben Coble, both in the way over 50-yard category. And the Titans take their first lead of the game. It's 13-7 with the extra point to come.
89 yards.
Wow.
And
he was wide open.
He was. He was.
And then did a good job of keeping.
A great job of fighting that guy off, slowing him down.
And just hanging on until the guy finally did the desperation try, and once he dove, that was it. He was either going to tackle him or it was a touchdown. Got an official's timeout as we have an injured player, it looks like. Trying to tell where it is.
Over on the 10-yard line. Far side.
Oh, on the it's on about the 5. Over all the way toward the sideline.
It was the same guy that Cardell was battling off.
Yeah, it was the cornerback when he took the dive. So.
Jaquan Willis, the injured Panther.
Gotta move that door.
So, boy, they're taking him all the way across the field. Looks like, see if I can, it looks like it's Willis, Jaquan Willis. But he was beat pretty cleanly about two or three steps when the throw was made. It was a good throw, caught him right in stride. And this time, Trevor actually went for it. Made the catch pretty easily.
He did.
And then it was just, it's kind of an interesting look. Was you got one guy stiff arm and the other guy, he's about twice as tall as he is. Wiley out for the extra point. Snap back, ball down. Boy, they came after it, but Wiley was able to punch it through. 2:50 left to go here in this first quarter, and the Titans get their first lead and extend it out to 14-7. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Welcome back out here to Panther Stadium at Ray-Pec, Lee Summit West. Raymore-Peculiar, Titans on top of the Panthers 14-7 on a couple of long touchdown passes. Ben Coble to Cade Clemens, and then this time Trevor Cardell, as there's another squib up the middle, and it was fielded at about the 37-yard line all the way across to the 43, giving great field position to the Panthers. And, I still don't understand it's not even just – if you're going to squib it, fine, squib it, but that was almost like onside kick type.
It sure was.
Now, I will grant you that 2 weeks ago we actually managed to get against Liberty. We got a lucky onside kick, recovery, which wasn't really intended to be one on a similar play. But you're not going to get gold like that very often.
No, and we're spotting them another 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean, even if they think that the wind is such an issue. As they toss it, Reyes trying to go around the right side, does get some pretty good running room before Myers comes up and takes him down, wrapped him up pretty good, but not before he gets about 5 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 5 from there as we're down to 2.5 minutes left to go first quarter. But, again, getting back to the whole kick idea, again, even if you're concerned about the wind, there's nothing to stop Wiley from at least squibbing it hard down the middle so that when they do field it, they're feeling, they're going to have to, unless
they see something on their kickoff return team that we don't know about,
right? That they're just totally scared about,
avoiding, right?
Yeah. Bull formation, and it is a give up the middle. Oh, bouncing off of it, and getting some good positive yardage and a first down is Gabe Shanklin. Boy, they had him, it looked like covered up right in the line of scrimmage, and he bounced off of it. And as it turns out, he'll end up with a first down into Titan territory. And just like that, one first down, and they're in Titan territory.
And it looked like people started shutting it down, too. They thought he was tackled.
Minifield comes a little early. Don't think he was drawn, but we'll wait and see for the official indication. Offsides on the Titans. So another free 5 yards, and it's down inside the 40 now for Ray Peck.
You probably won't believe this, but could you hear Limbo Parks? I could hear him from over here.
You got a sensitive crowd mic. So it'll be 1st and 5 after the penalty. And again, the give. Shanklin trying to get around the left side, being chased, hit, and tackled. This time, they do a good job of teaming him up as Wilson and Lyon came together to knock him down. Gain of a couple, but it was 2nd and 5, or 1st and 5, I should say, so it sets up a 2nd down and about 3.
From the 37.
We're down to 1:09 left to go in the quarter. Any possibility that we're just giving them these short fields just to keep the game more interesting?
Could be.
2nd and short. See if they decide they want to take a shot. Under center, though, is Hawley. And it is an inside give. Hit. Not much for Gardner. And he's going to be shy of a first down still by, he maybe got a yard on the play, but it'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I would have thrown the ball there. 2nd and short.
Well, why not? Give it I mean, you've got your, throwing quarterback in, so to speak, and give him a chance. And there's less pressure on him than, on a 3rd down throw. Not that they'll throw it here. They probably won't, but under center, single back, and it is a give Reyes, and he'll get a first down and more. Boy, that formation, they have been able to open up some pretty huge roles on that right side of their offensive line. They have an H-back over there, and it just, Reyes is, that was how they scored their touchdown earlier. And here, on 3rd and 2, he gains way more than he needed to. 1st and 10 Panthers from the 26, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The Lee Summit West Titans, at one point trailing 7-0, have come back to take the lead, 14-7, our score. Back with the second quarter coming up right after this on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Panther Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Bame, and Lee Summit West with the 14-7 lead over Ray Peck, but they are driving here on this another short field drive after a weak kickoff that was done intentionally.
It was, but a pretty impressive first quarter there with Lee Summit West having over 200 yards total offense and Ray Peck having 106.
So we'll see what they do here as they come out in the bull 1st and 10.
Is that what you call no defense?
Back to throw, and Grimm with the catch. Good coverage over there by Wilson. Hit him originally, or right at the, as soon as he caught it, basically. That was actually Javon Williams who made the catch over there on that far side. And it'll be 2nd and 5 from around the 21. So they even are throwing out of that formation now. Holly under center, same formation. And it's a toss and good penetration, but again, he's able to break the first tackle as Grauberger came in, but Shanklin came off of him. And he didn't, Grauberger usually didn't miss like that.
No,
And I mean, he touched him, but he didn't really
doesn't.
wrap him up.
Yeah.
Usually he does. He'll wrap him up, and he can't get out like that.
And maybe needs to work on his angle a little better,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So positive yardage, but not enough for a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3, just inside the red zone, just underway second quarter.
Well, they do have a good kicker, so.
No doubt, although they're kicking into the wind now. Hawley looking back for a play, trying to direct some traffic here, and they're going to have to call timeout as the play clock was down to about 5. And so the Panthers will burn their first with 10:44 left to go here in the first half, and the Titans on top 14-7. You hate to feel like, I don't know, maybe, you have the same impression as I do, or maybe not, but you hate to go into the last game of the season and feel like you're playing a sloppy game.
And compared to last week, the defense isn't looking the same as it did last week.
Yeah, definitely not at all.
Whether you're looking for home, auto, life, or business insurance.
But like I said, this has always been a tough offense for Coach Carswell to defend.
So we'll see what they do here after this timeout. This is a big opportunity for the Titans to come up with a stop, if they can, and halt this drive for a not necessarily easy field goal. They could be in 4-down territory. Like you said, Abingtons usually have a leg for this sort of thing. But the wind is kind of hard to judge today. Under center, Hawley takes a look. He's got receivers on the right, one man behind him, and an H-back, and it's a give. Reyes up the middle, and again, he gets that first down and more. Big opening on the right side. You might as well, every time they've come out in that formation, they've run that play, and it's been good for 6 or 7 yards.
Yes, it has.
At least.
First and 10 Panthers at the 12-yard
Making some
line.
personnel adjustments right now. Cam Carswell comes back in for Keys.
So we'll see what they do here inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the Titan 12.
Looks like they're going with a 3-man front.
Hawley under center. And a give, and this is Reyes again, that big hole on the right side. He'll get inside the 10 down to about the 6. It'll be another pickup of 6. 2nd down and 4. So I think the people having a conversation in front of us realize that there's a crowd mic right in front of them.
No, they don't.
I don't think they do.
That was some top secret stuff, though.
I was just going to say. You never really know. It's kind of a roll of the dice if you decide you're going to tell them or not, by the way. Here's Reyes right side again. He was caught from behind and tackled without much gain on it, as Minifield managed to come around from the end. That's a pretty strong play by a defensive end.
Very nice by Minifield.
Middle set up a 3rd down. Yeah, in the past when I've told people, or sort of motioned and pointed the mic out to them, sometimes they'll, respect that or, ooh, I'm sorry, and, quiet down. And other times they will not do that. And let's just leave it at that.
I totally understand.
Hawley, toss sweep. Oh, a bobble, but Reyes on the right side. Did he get enough? A nice step up on the play there by Nate Lyon to make the stop, but was it enough?
No, officials are saying 4th down.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th. Again, certainly within the range of Sappington here, but they're close enough.
But
I think.
You know what? You've been running the football all the way down the field here. Why not?
Well, now the last 2 times they have tried that right tackle play, it has been less effective. But again, all they need to get is about a yard. They are in that same formation. And it is Reyes, same play. And he's hit and tackled.
Handoff goes to Reyes.
Now, did he get enough?
Yes, he did.
15, Jake Crowberg.
By that spot.
I'm waiting for the official. They're going to measure it.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. Or at least they're going to stop it to look. Now they indicate first down without the measurement. So it'll be 1st and goal from about the 1. It was close. I think the Titans defensively thought they had stopped him.
Yeah, but see, I don't understand right there. You got your linebackers playing 5 yards off on a short yardage situation.
Let's see what they do here. The ball's on about the 2. First and goal. Scored from here earlier. It's a keeper. Hawley, he was hit and stopped shy of the goal line. Maybe a yard and a half on the play, so it'll be inside the 1. Second and goal. 8 minutes and counting here first half. Ray-Pec trying to tie things up here. They come out of the huddle. Reyes is the deep back. Twins on the right. H-back on the right as well. Under center. Hawley gives Reyes right side. End zone touchdown. Brandon Reyes, second time from about the same spot. Inside the 1. A touchdown run. And it is 14-13 with the opportunity to tie it coming right up. So, like you were talking about, able to pretty much run the ball at will.
Gabe Sappington on to attempt the extra point.
Gabe Sappington out to see if he can't tie it up. Luke Grimm is the holder. Snapback's a bit high, gets it down, the kick is up, and it is good. 7:33 left to go here in this first half of play. Knotted up at 14 as both teams now have been able to come back from 7-point deficits and tie the game. It's 14 all. Back with a kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Ackport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back out to Panther Stadium here in Ray-Pec. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Boehm. Lee Summit West, Ray-Pec Titans and Panthers knotted up at 14. Gabe Sappington kicking into the wind for the first time here. We'll see how they decide to approach these kicks, as he will kick it high and deep, and it's going to be short. Oh, and it goes off of Wilson, ends up into the end zone for a touchback, which is a good thing.
Yes, it was.
It'll be first and 10 Titans.
And the Titans will get it at the 20-yard line. They have scored twice on 2 long passes, whereas the Panthers have run the ball and sustained drives. So, sometimes those quick strike things can actually be a problem for the defense of your own team. I don't know how much of a factor that has been in this game.
Well, I think it's been a big factor right now, because the defense has been on the field quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. It's one of those things that's tough because, if you see a matchup you like, you still want to take advantage of it. And off play action, Coble hit in the backfield and sacked. It was a zone read, and Max Payne had the ball, but he pulled it back. That was probably a mistake in hindsight.
Well, in hindsight, yeah.
Because not only when I say that, it's not just because he got sacked. It was because when he pulled the ball back, there were two
guys sitting right
Panthers in the backfield with him.
Right.
So it'll be second and long for the Titans. Empty backfield for Coble this time. Takes a snap, looking to the right side. He's got time, throws. He's got a man downfield, underthrows Cooper. There was some contact, but there's no flag, and it'll be third down and long. Cooper was open, but he was underthrown. So I don't know. I've been saying they're into the wind this direction, but based on the passes that we got before, I don't know if maybe like I said, the wind is really hard to judge today. And
like
so,
you said, it was a swirling wind down there in the field, too. And
So-
then we're kind of sitting in a bowl, aren't we? Not really?
We're
up on the hill.
So 3rd down and long here for the Titans. They need to get to the 30. Pistol formation. And they play action. Oh, Coble, he's hit. And he's going to be sacked back inside the 5. He did stay out of the end zone for any kind of a safety, but Titans are going to have to punt it away. 2 sacks in the sequence on Coble. That time, I mean, they came at him relatively quickly, but he probably had some time to throw it.
I'm sure Coach Barrows is going to have a few words over there.
But this is going to be a short kick situation here for Clemens. He will not be able to get that full 15 yards.
No, he won't.
Standing at the back of the end zone, and of course he needs to have a good snap here. He gets a good snap, steps into it. It's going to take a Titan bounce. It was a short kick, but takes a great bounce for Lee Summit West, and will finally come to a rest right around the 40-yard line. So, yeah, it turns out to be a 56-yard punt on a punt that probably went, 25 yards in the air, maybe?
Yeah.
He actually didn't get a very good boot on it, but it was just one of those end-over-end kicks that happened to land in such a way.
Line drive with it.
Yeah, that it would. But still good field position. The Panthers have had good field position all game long.
They have.
5:50 left to go.
Again, our defense is back out on the field.
Right. So not only did not get the quick, but we were 3 and out that time. 3 down linemen for the Titans. Bull formation, back to throw, and Hawley bounces one. As he tried to get it to Williams, that one looked like it just slipped out of his hand.
It looked like Cam Carswell might have knocked that one down.
I don't think it looked to me like it slipped right out of his hand. I mean, you're right that he was over there, but it just from what I saw, I don't think anybody touched him.
Damn, Joel, you're always right. Damn.
Well, I have the benefit of binoculars.
I don't understand the 3 front, but maybe there's something behind it.
Toss sweep. This is Reyes on the right side, and they force him out of bounds as he gets up to about the 45. There is that flag, and it is a hold against the Panthers. So that'll cost them 10 yards and set up a 2nd and about 21. Clock stopped with 5:41 left to go in the half.
Maybe that's what it is. They're running a 3-man front there. So
they'll hold more?
He's going to back it up to the 28-yard line.
So
2nd and 22 for the Panthers.
first time for Ray-Pec for them sort of shooting themselves in the foot, giving the Titans an opportunity to come up with a stop here on defense. 14 all our score. 5:41 to go here in the 2nd quarter. From the bull formation, it is a play action, throwing down the middle. Hawley throws into double coverage, incomplete, looking for Grimm. And Grimm wants a flag, and there is a flag. I didn't see a lot of contact before the ball got there, to be quite honest.
Well, I think Bunker got him.
Pass interference against the Titans. That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
I still got to say, though, and this is not limited to high school by any stretch of the imagination. That's a huge penalty, although it does not give them a first down, unlike in the pros. You get that 15-yard penalty, but it was 2nd and 20-something, so it'll be 2nd down and about 7 or 8 or so from there. They need to get to midfield.
You didn't think that was a pass interference?
I didn't see a whole lot of contact before the ball got there. Cahill was over there.
I thought it was Bunker's hit right there at the very end.
He might have. It might have got there just a little. It was right around the same time. What I don't like, though.
But who called it, though? The guy on the side did.
Yeah.
The back judge did not.
Here is a run around the left side there for Shanklin. He'll gain a couple, maybe about 4, and set up a 3rd down and short. But anyway, when the receiver went down, he was, pleading for that flag. I think, and again, this is not just limited. You see that all the time in pro football and in college football. I think they should institute a rule that when you do something like that, you get a 15-yard flag for it, and it would stop it immediately, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason for that.
No.
And I'm not complaining about this player because, like I said, everybody does that all the time. It is a ridiculous thing to do. In a, it's the wrong message to teach. Back to throw, Holly throwing near side, makes the catch. And this is Williams on the catch, and he'll get a first down inside Titan territory at about the 41. But like I said, especially at the high school level, you hate to see, the first thing a receiver does, when he comes down is, screaming for for some sort of a flag.
Right.
It's not a good message.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
And it would very easily be.
How much time do we have in this half? I'm sorry, I can't.
3:50 left to go.
3:50.
Here's a give. Reyes left side. Oh, he makes one man miss. Gained about 6. And hit and tackled there. Clock is running. 3:35 left to go. Ray-Peck only has. Well, they have 2 timeouts left. Thought I remember them calling 2 timeouts, but I guess not. They only called the 1.
Just the 1.
Here's a give, and hit and tackled to get near the 30-yard line was Reyes again. There's a flag down.
I was going to say, looked like holding again.
We'll see what the call is. Holding is the call against Ray-Peck. It'll be from the 36, so it'll bring them back to the 46 of the Titans and set up a second and about 15.
And it happened right in front of the white hat, and he didn't even throw it. Came from the side official.
And not only that, he had to go ask the side official what the penalty was. And, it's funny. This is the second time they have had a holding call in this drive. That should be a recipe for a stop for a defense. If the Titans are unable to stop them here, then that's not a good sign for Lee Summit West. The team's able to overcome 2 10-plus yard penalties in a drive. There's Hawley rolling to the right side. He's got time, throws. And did he catch it? It doesn't look, well.
He's marking it.
Yeah, they are marking it. He did catch it. It was Grimm who made the catch. I couldn't see it because it was too close to the Ray-Peck sideline. There are too many players standing in front of it. And so they're saying he made the catch. Up to the 38 of the Titans. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 7 from there. They got to get to the 31. Clock is running, 2:20 left to go in the half. Couple of times now that Hawley's thrown the ball kind of low, but they were able to come up with the catch. 2 wingbacks here, but from the shotgun. Back to throw Hawley. They put a rush on. He throws. Downfield, it's incomplete. Williams, the intended receiver. Wilson was over there stride to stride. And I tell you what, Hawley has no qualms about throwing into coverage.
He doesn't. He doesn't at all.
He has done it a few times, and so far it hasn't come back to bite him. The one where it's the pass interference, he threw into double coverage. I thought when he threw it, they were going to be able to make a play on the ball.
And when he throws it that if they're not going to catch it, neither are we.
So it looks like a punting situation here on 4th down, even though they're all the way into Titan territory. Of course, there's always the possibility of the fake. Oh, there was a movement. The up back got a little antsy and ran first, and so that's going to cost them 5 more yards, which makes it a lot less likely they'll try the fake.
Right. Like you said, penalties have just shot Ray-Peck in the foot.
Well, yeah. In this drive, they gave this ball away. It wasn't the Titans that stopped them exactly. Again, 2 Titans back deep, Grauberger and Cooper, now standing at about their own 12. Oddly enough, that might be an easier kick. Fair catch called for, made by Cooper at the 15.
I tell you, Sammy does a great job of catching the football.
Yeah, he does.
My goodness, scares the heck out of me.
I was just going to say, but I'll bet you it's not good for the blood pressure of the special teams coach.
No.
1:51 left to go. And keep in mind, Ray-Peck does get the ball to start the second half. So the Titans have an incentive to get some points here.
Well, I wonder if Coach Burrows got that offensive line straightened out.
They've got all 3 of those timeouts with 1:51 to go. We have certainly shown that we have receivers that can beat their defensive backs. It's happened a couple of times already in this game for long touchdown throws. Coble back to throw, looking right side. He'll roll right, being chased, throws, and it is caught Clemens. And he does get out of bounds, I believe, at the 28. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lee Summit West.
Avery Woodbine with the stop for the Panthers.
Long throw for that.
That was.
But he was wide open.
And he did a nice job of getting out of bounds right there.
Yeah, although I wish he would have done it quicker.
Well, but the other guy was on top of him trying to pull him back in.
No, I understand that, but originally it didn't look like he was trying to get out of bounds. When he realized he couldn't get any more positive yards than he did. Luckily, nobody took him down. Now it is Cooper on the end around, only getting about to the 30. It'll be a yard, maybe yard and a half.
Yeah, it almost looked like that option to throw the ball.
I think he did have it, and I think he decided to pull it down. Because, like you said, he was not holding the ball like a running back originally.
And the corner stayed on Cardell.
Back to throw Coble. With time, now he'll roll to the right, throwing right side. He's got Cooper, makes the catch, and goes out of bounds all the way up to the 45-yard line. Nice catch by Cooper.
Very nice.
And a good throw by Coble as well. Stops the clock with 1:11 left to go, moves the chains as well. Keep in mind the Titans have all 3 of their timeouts as well.
Well, it's about time for a little trick play, don't you think? Throwback, quarterback. Well.
That was the play before this one. It was a trick play. Just didn't do it. Anything is possible. Although, you also don't want to score too early either.
Uh-oh. Look at this. Swing gate.
There it is. Cooper now comes in motion. Snap to Coble. Rolls right, throws right. And it is caught by Clemens. Did he stay in bounds? No. It was intended for Clemens, and I think he caught it, but he caught it out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Trick play, but didn't work.
Didn't work.
Hard to fool Tom Cruise. He's seems to be better doing the fooling a lot of times.
He does. He's got a bunch of tricks up his sleeve.
Yes, we know. We have experienced them to our chagrin at times. Back to throw Coble. Throws near side. It is caught Marshall. Steps inside. Oh, it looked like he stayed up, but they called him down inside the 50. I don't know why you wouldn't call timeout here. Yeah, they took a while, but finally did. When you have all 3 timeouts, you don't get a bonus if you take them with you into the locker room. You know, it's 51 seconds left to go. They burned their first. That would be kind of a neat little wrinkle on things, wouldn't it?
It would.
If you could, you know, like for example, if you use all 3, if you take all 3 of your timeouts, you get an extra timeout in the second half. Wonder how many coaches would start taking delay of game penalties early in the first quarter or whatever, just to see if they can get through without taking a timeout. That's all you coaches need is yet one other thing to try and have to figure out.
Well, you know, after this 2-year cycle, they're going to change up the system of the playoffs. You know that, right?
I'm sure they will. They'll find a way to make it worse. They always do. Like I said before, it seems like just a no-brainer in this whole, flipping the head-to-head situation that the record doesn't make any difference. That, it's not a tiebreaker. I don't understand that. That just seems so... I've never seen a situation where that isn't where you only flip somebody normally when it's tied.
Four down territory here, don't you think?
It's a give up the middle, not a problem anyway, because Max Payne gets the first down. Boy, he was pushed back. It was funny because Marcian Marshall it looked to me like was holding himself up like a push-up, and they blew it dead almost immediately.
I wonder if it was because his momentum had stopped.
And Max Payne there runs into a wall and is sitting up. He wasn't down, and they let the play keep going, and he got an extra hit. Throw, Cardell, open, caught, touchdown. Touchdown, Titans, Trevor Cardell. Second time, Coble from 42 yards out, able to find Cardell for his second touchdown and Coble's third to give the Titans a 20-14 lead with 39 seconds left to go in the first half.
Well, I'd like to say I could see that one, but I couldn't see that one.
Well, they need to have somebody come in and watch these windows.
Well, no, I have a huge wall
know.
over here.
I was kidding.
Why do you think you're sitting in the middle?
Wiley's extra point is up, and it is good. 39 seconds left to go. Well, luckily, you were able to enjoy it just like everybody listening in was able to enjoy it. Only know what the way I described it, right?
Right, exactly.
21-14 our score. Back with kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
Well, back out to the Panther Stadium here in Ray-Pec. Michael Wiley's kickoff for the first time, kicking it deep. And it'll be caught right at the 1-yard line and returned up the middle of the field. And some good running room. Gets out to the 41-yard line before he's tackled. Maybe that's an explanation as to why he's not kicking it in the other ways. You know, it's interesting because that's the one time normally they would squib it to avoid a long run back. But we'll see what they do here. 32 seconds left to go. They do get the ball coming out at halftime. What do you think the odds are we'll see a fake kneel?
I don't think we'll see that.
Would, by definition, they have to call a 15-yard penalty if they do because they owe us one?
Yeah.
I don't think it works like that, does it?
It doesn't.
If you make a mistake, make up your own rule in one game, you don't have to call it again in the next one. Hawley rolling right side. He is hit and sacked.
Hawley is sacked back at the
Nice job catching him from behind.
Nice little combination right there by Carswell. Coming up first, delivering the blow. Grauberger coming
sack made by number
and
15,
delivering it.
And the Panthers do call timeout. That's an interesting choice there, even after that sack. There's still, a lot of times when you get a sack like that, a team, the offensive team would be willing to just let the clock roll out, knowing they've got the football coming out or whatever. And I've seen in situations where a defensive team might call a timeout, hoping to get the ball back. But here it's Ray-Pec still thinking they have a chance to get some points. I don't know.
That's Tom Cruise mentality.
And I don't have a problem with that, except what I've seen out of Hawley so far, I can't imagine that he won't be susceptible for an interception. Because he's tried to force the ball in a number of situations, and now where the Titans are able to just play back in center field, if he, tries to wing one down, I could see a definite situation where you could see an interception and even potentially a pick six or an interception that would lead to points. So you're taking a chance. But apparently Tom Cruise thinking it's okay to roll the dice. We'll see what happens.
He's backed off our D-backs now.
And Hawley will make a quick throw on the seam route up the middle. And it'll be good for a first down. As that was Vlasic with the catch.
Vlasic with the reception.
19 seconds left to go.
First and 10 Panthers at the 46. Tackle made by Nathan Lyon.
Hawley from the shotgun. Back to throw, rolling right side. Throws. He's got a man. It is caught Grimm. at the 35 and pulled down.
Reception made by
Nice
Luke
tackle
Perez,
in the
tackle
open
made
field
by
there
number 15,
by
Jake
Grauberger. And 6 seconds left. They
That'll
stopped
be
the
good
clock to
enough for
move the
Ray
chains.
Peck.
I don't know. I would think you'd have to call
First
timeout
and
here if you're
10
Ray
Panthers
Peck with
to
6 seconds left, and they are
35.
going to.
Timeout Panthers.
Now, that should be their last timeout. The scoreboard doesn't agree with you, Mark, but I believe it is.
How much time's up there?
6 seconds. That's really only time. I mean, you could take
That's
one
the
shot at the
final
end
timeout for
zone,
Panthers.
and
With
that's
6 seconds
it.
to go in the first half.
You could
Well,
take.
Sappington.
It'd be a 50-yarder from here. 50-something yarder.
And here comes Systems Meltdown, firing off T-shirts donated by the Booster Club.
So, I mean, I don't think you have time. You could try like a 10-yard pass, near the sideline to catch it, go out of bounds,
Right.
and then try it. But you're taking it with 6 seconds. You're taking a chance you can't get that done. But you might be able to. In Staley, you could.
Yes, you could.
Out of the timeout, first and 10 Panthers.
So we'll see what they do here. 6 seconds left to go in the half. Hawley. Back to throw. Does try to throw. It was tipped and goes out of bounds. Time 2 seconds. Boy, it only took 4.
Here comes Sappington.
Yeah, that was what they were going for, was to get him in field goal range. It's still going to be about a 45-yarder or so. Let's call it a 43-yard field goal. With swirling wind, and what wind there is definitely in his face based on the flags.
Sappington on to attempt a 43-yard field goal.
But it is not beyond his range. This would make it 21-17, so the Titans will... Now it looks like the Titans are going to call timeout, see if they can't ice the kicker.
Lee Summit West. That's their second timeout of the half.
They finally did update the timeouts, so it does say 0 now for Rapek.
How much time on the clock?
2 seconds.
We would like to thank the
There is always the possibility of a fake. The holder normally is Grimm, who is a wide receiver, but I don't know, he could throw it. We have some wide receivers that certainly can throw the football. It just sort of depends on how much faith you have in Sappington. It is a makeable field goal, but by no means an easy field goal with the wind. 43 yards. Grimm is the holder. If the Titans block it, can you run it back for points?
I think you can.
I don't know. I don't even know if they'll come after it. We'll see. Out of the hold of Grimm. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up. It is high. It is good. 43-yard field goal to end the half for Sappington. Like I said, it was well within his range, and he made it work. 21-17, though. The Titans do maintain the lead as we go to halftime. 21-17 our score. Back with halftime coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
The year was 1881, and young Reuben Baylor was making his way along near the Missouri River, finding work when he could and living the only life he knew. But when he come on old Arliss Height, beat to hell and near shot to death, Rube done what he could for him. He didn't know that act of kindness was going to wind up changing his whole life, but it did. Green as grass, Rube was a long way from being any kind of pistolier or shootist, but when Marshal Marion Daniels come on him and needed help with the Duncan bunch for what they'd done to Arliss, that tussle growed Rube up right quick. He stopped drifting, found friends worth looking up to, and a young woman that was right admirable.
Deer Run Trail by David Lewis. Available as an e-audiobook
at audible.com.
All right, I got a message for you. Radio is the way to go if you want to advertise. Targeting your customers any shape or size. Radio is a perfect way to tell them who and where you are. They listen at work, they listen at home, and you got them in that car. You've got to go with radio when you want to advertise. Here we go. Watch me now. Hard rock and soft rock and easy listening too. Up and down the dialer formats just for you. Country, classic, talk, and gospel stations. Every market across the land has got a station for your situation. The cost is low, and radio is theater of the mind. You can present your information with imagination. If you want to get your message across the airways with radio. Call them. They will come right over. Remember, you got to go with radio when you want to advertise. There are lots of stations just your size.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Oh, shoot. What's the matter, Pop? Your mother's off at Taekwondo practice, and she says she wants me to find a hobby by this summer.
Well, why not play baseball, Dad?
Softball? I don't want to play softball.
Not softball, Dad. Baseball.
I don't even like softball,
Dad,
son, the way they just toss the ball in there.
Dad.
You know, I used to be a catcher.
Dad.
And softball, I just feel like a backstop.
Dad.
What?
I'm not talking about softball. I'm talking about baseball, Dad. You know, hardball.
Really? They have baseball for people my age?
Sure, Pop. The Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League.
Well, now, I'm no spring chicken anymore, son. I don't want to play with all you young teenagers, you know.
I'm 35, Pop.
You are?
They have leagues for people both our ages. They have 18 and over, 28 and over, even 38 and over leagues.
I wonder if I still have my old mitt.
The Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League, 913-649-2942.
I think your mother used it while training those tigers.
Call them. They'll get you all signed up. 913-649-2942.
649-2942. Good. As soon as your mother gets home from bungee jumping, I'll tell her.
Oh, great, Pop. She'll be so happy.
Oh.
What?
Well, when she gets happy, she might take it out on me.
Oh, Dad.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back to halftime. This is Mark Files along with the coach at the Panthers Stadium at Ray-Peck High School.
Files Stadium.
Oh, yeah. Keep giving me the grief, Coach. Keep giving me the grief. Got some numbers here for you. First half numbers for the visitors. Lee Summit West, 268 yards in total offense. They ran 23 plays. They're averaging 11.7 yards per play. I know you're going to find this hard to believe, Coach. 248 yards through the air.
Wow.
Coble's 8 of 12 on attempts, averaging 31 yards per pass with 3 touchdowns. Pretty good night.
Very nice.
And he's still got a half to play, right?
And how many times was he sacked?
He was sacked twice that I know of. There may be a third one in there. So, yep, he was sacked twice for sure. So, let's see here. For Ray-Peck, they have 195 yards in total offense. They ran 35 plays. They're averaging 5.6 yards per play. They've got 82 yards through the air, 113 on the ground. Here's the big stat right now, and you guys alluded to this during the broadcast in the first half. Time of possession. Ray-Peck's had the ball 15 minutes and 28 seconds of the first half. Lee Summit West had it 7 minutes and 47 seconds.
Wow.
First downs, Ray-Peck has 14. Lee Summit West has 8. And then the third down conversions, Ray-Peck is 3 of 6 and West is 2 of 4. And fourth down conversions, Ray-Peck is 1 of 2, and then West was 0 of 1, 0 on 1 on the fake punt.
Hey, real quick, Coach, we've got Coach Schieber here, the men's basketball coach at Lee Summit West. Coach, any predictions on this season?
Well, I think we're going to have a good run. We'll see. Got some young guys who are going to fill into some key spots. So hopefully one of those deals we get better as the year goes on, and hopefully we can build on this momentum of a great football season as well.
Absolutely. Now, is this your face being red? Is this like preparing? Is this you preparing yourself for basketball season? Is this what it is?
That's just me getting cold.
Coach, thanks for coming on with us, and good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Basketball, they're getting ready to go, aren't they?
They are.
Let's see. Let's talk some individual numbers here and get your thoughts on this, Coach. Max Payne, 3 of 13, 3 attempts for 13 yards. He's averaging 4.3 yards a carry. Taylor Wilson, 1 attempt for 6 yards. Marshall has 1 for 3. Ben Coble, we talked about the rushing attempts. He's lost 4 yards himself. Through the air, Trevor Cardell has over 131 yards and 2 TDs in the first half on 2 receptions. Cade Clemens got 78 yards and a TD himself. So that is a nice day so far, and let's see if they can keep adding to it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Big number for Ray-Peck is, of course, all the ground they're covering with the rushing attack. Gabe Schenkel has 61 yards on 8 attempts. Brandon Reyes has 51 yards on 14 attempts. And then Luke Grimm and Conrad Hawley both have a couple yards on 4 attempts. We're going to take a quick break here, and then when we come back, we're going to check some scores and around town and see what's going on as far as the district setting for West and also Ray-Peck, and see project maybe who their opponent's going to be here before the end of this ball game. You're listening to a presentation of Backport Sports, Beckbros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Are you looking for a heartwarming and unique gift? Consider master storyteller David Lewis's Memories CD collection. Warm memories of the cold. 9 of David's best memories of sleds, snow, Grandpa on ice, 34 degrees below, skates, and Christmas. Hooves, paws, wings, and claws. 13 recollections of cats, horses, dogs, birds, a misguided vet, and a bobcat that stuck to the wall. Just folks. 13 memories of the Witch in the Woods and other captivating people, gone but not forgotten. And you had to be there. 14 heartwarming tales like Fantasy on the Porch, An Ox Out of His Box, A Foot Fetish Catfish, and more. Recollecting times, places, people, and events in David's life you simply have to hear for yourself. David's CDs are available online at memoriescds.com. You can hear audio clips at the website. That's memoriescds.com. Why not buy the gift that can be enjoyed over and over? David Lewis's Memories CD collection. A touch of the heartland for your family.
Welcome back to halftime out here at Panther Stadium on the campus of Raymore-Peculiar High School.
Mark Files High School. Come on.
Yeah. Got some halftime scores here for you. Lee Summit leads Truman 16-12 at half. Liberty North is up 14-10 over Park Hill South. Lee Summit North is up 12-0 over Blue Springs South at halftime, which is a interesting score there. We're trying to track down a Rocker score here for you. Fort Osage is up 23-0 over Ruskin. Grandview is trailing by 1 to Platte County, 7-6. Rockhurst up 28-0 over Jefferson City at halftime. That game is being played in Jeff City tonight. And let's see what else is another good score that we can share with you for those at home. Blue Springs is up 17-13 over Park Hill at halftime.
Whoa.
That, too, is also an interesting game. And then the featured game tonight on 810 WHB was North Kansas City versus Raytown.
Two good teams right there this year.
Boy, haven't they been fun to keep up with them?
They sure have.
They've been playing hard. Yep, we got the 28 zip already on Rockhurst. Yep. Now we'll have to track that score down for you here shortly. See where we're at. Columbia Hickman is up 14-6 over Oak Park. That's a Class 5 score for you. Also, another score that we're looking for is Staley versus Liberty. Here you go, halftime score. Liberty leads Staley 21-7 at the half. That's a little bit of a surprise. And then the other score we were looking for was North Kansas City Raytown. And it is a good one. With time still showing in the second quarter, Raytown's up 21-20 going into that halftime. So there are your scores from around the city.
You know what, Mark? I'm not really shocked and surprised by Liberty Staley's score.
Really?
I am very impressed, and honestly, Liberty's in our district, and that's the one team that I fear to play.
Okay, more so than a Park Hill.
Yes.
The Liberty.
Huh?
Yeah.
Especially if we have to go to Lee Summit North.
Right. I tell you what, though, what you mentioned about Liberty, they just played salty football. I mean, they were good, tough kids, and they reminded me a lot of Blue Springs.
Mm-hmm.
They were big, they were fast, and they had a quarterback who could throw the football.
And they had receivers. Yes.
And thank goodness we had the ball last, and the clock finally ran out, right?
Yep. And I tell you what, and we've been sitting here talking about North's going to jump us here for the number 1 seed, which then that puts North playing Ray Peck. Now, granted, if we would have got that number 1 seed, then that means we would have been playing Ray Peck back to back, and we've done that a couple times, and it hadn't worked out in our favor.
No, it hasn't, and it's always tough to beat a team twice in one season, let alone back to back. And when you have a head coach like Tom Cruise who loves the trick plays, the second time around they come out hard and they come out fast, and there isn't a lot you can do with them because he throws them on you when you least expect it.
And I tell you what, just going to halftime with a 21-17 lead, Vinny and his staff, they've got to be worried, especially with the way that Tom coaches and those trick plays that he does have up his sleeve.
Well, and something that doesn't get talked about a lot is the conference championships. And you know, the Titans are playing tonight. If they can beat Ray Peck, finish it off here in the second half, they win the conference championship in football. And, you know, that's kind of been lost, and it's not a big deal, or it doesn't seem to be as big a deal as it used to be because everybody focuses on the district playoffs.
Yes.
So, but again, they do count those in the Suburban Conference. That is important. And the one thing you want to do is you definitely want to finish strong, and you do not want to go into the first round of districts with a bad taste in your mouth, and that is something that the Titans are going to have to work on to prevent here in the second half.
And so if North, as you said, North is holding on to Blue Springs South 13 or 12 to
16 to 12. It was 12 nothing right now at
halftime.
With that, we're going to go ahead and take another break here. The teams are both back out on the field, and they're getting warmed up ready for the second half. When we come back, Joel and the coach will give you all the second half action as we bring you live football from Panther Stadium here on the campus of Ray Peck High School. You're listening to a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
As time goes by, life seems to get more and more hectic. If you'd like to escape for a moment, the good old days are alive and well on the internet at heartlandmemories.com. At heartlandmemories.com, nationally award-winning writer David Lewis brings you memories of his life and times in the heartland of America. David's vocal style and masterful storytelling can often weave laughter and tears in the same tale, with his poignant and humorous recollections of days past. There was a time when we didn't Twitter, tweet, and email. That time is still doing fine at heartlandmemories.com. Canoe whitewater, beat the sun to the top of the hill, play baseball, jump in a pond with a horse, have Christmas dinner with Aunt Myrna, meet some real old-timers. You can. It's not too late. Spend a little time with David Lewis at heartlandmemories.com. Relax for a while. The good old days are waiting for you.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back live to Mark Files' alma mater, Panther Stadium. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Boehm, the Hall of Famer. As Lee Summit West taking on the Ray-Peck Panthers. Titans have a 21-17 lead as we move into quarter number 3. The Titans, of course, had lost the toss, and the Panthers deferred, so they'll get the ball to start things off. And the Titans, as has been their practice most of this season, have chosen to take the wind in the third quarter and not in the fourth. That did kind of come back to bite them a little bit in the one loss in the Lee Summit North game.
But again, 2 of those big touchdowns were thrown into the wind.
Yeah. Well, in this game, yes. So Wiley with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. He will kick it deep. And it's a bit of a line drive kick, but will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And we'll see what kind of adjustments both teams have made here for this second half of play. As the Titans at times had a hard time stopping this Panther offense. Not really sure what they were trying to do a lot of times, seemed like.
No, And looked like we got out of that 5 front. Haven't seen too much of that. I'd like to see a little bit more of that to stop the run that they pulled out against Blue Springs last week.
Conrad Holly filling in for the injured starter, Grant Miller. And it is a give up the middle on the 1st and 10 play from the 20-yard line. I believe that was Shanklin with the carry. Not much there. Oh, excuse me, it was Reyes with the carry. Maybe a yard on the play. It'll be second down and long. Just underway third quarter. Titans on top 21-17. Looking to get a stop here in the opening drive and set up a multiple-score game.
And the first play was ran right off right tackle. Like they've been doing the whole first half, and defense did a great job of stopping that.
4 down linemen here on this play, and it is an incomplete pass as Holly went a little short on the intended throw to Williams. And Wilson's played a good game today. He was on the coverage over there, and he's been right on stride for stride. Pretty much anybody he's been asked to cover today. Hasn't been a very flashy player for us this year, but for a cornerback, it's more that they don't ever target him than it is that it's an issue because he's been very good. 3rd down and long. Let's see if the Titans come after Hawley. 3 down linemen this time. Man in motion, Reyes. And we're going to get a whistle. I believe it's going to be an illegal motion-ish type false start. And it is a false start against the Panthers, but I think it had to do with the motion more than anything else. So that'll cost them an extra 5, and It was already a tough 3rd and 9. Now it'll be a tougher 3rd and about 14. And again, we'll see if the Titans decide to come after this young quarterback. Same play seems to be called. Rolling to the right, throwing over the middle. He's got a man, Grimm. He makes the catch, plenty of room. And he is hit and then tackled, but gets a first down.
And I don't understand why he didn't just keep running downfield.
I don't know.
Don't understand that because he was, I mean, probably would have been caught.
What I don't
still gaining some yards.
What I don't understand is how on a 3rd and 14 play, that guy is that far open, 15 yards, 16 yards from the line of scrimmage. So it moves the chains 1st and 10. Boy, big opportunity squandered that time by the Titan defense to come up with an out, and as they go off sides here.
Penalty prior to the play.
Cam Carswell.
Yep, got a little excited.
Against the Titans. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Moving up to the 41-yard line.
Both teams giving each other free 5 yards here and there. And now it'll be 1st and 5 for the Panthers from their own 41. We've played 1:06 here of this 3rd quarter. Man in motion. Hawley will hand off. Reyes trying the left side. Oh, he had a hole up the middle. And he'll get on 1st and 5 about 7 yards, move the chains again. And it will be 1st and 10 near midfield. About 48 or so.
He's running through a lot of our arm tackles right now, too.
Well, we talked about the fact that although it's been impressive for our offense to have 3 40-plus yard touchdown throws, it also has led to our defense being on the field an awful lot. 4 down linemen on this play. On 1st down, it's a toss sweep. It's Reyes, bounces off one guy, and will get across midfield and finally taken down at about the Titan 48. And so that'll set up a 2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4.
Tackle made by number 94, Wesley Basil. Gain of 4.
Seemed like they had the opportunity to keep that from being as good a gain as it was. You know, a 2nd and 6 is what you want, or something like that. A 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 9 is what you want for your defense. And we had the opportunity to get that 2nd and 8 or 9, but just allowed him to.
And now we've just taken out a D lineman, added a linebacker in.
So going with kind of an Okie look here, 3 and 3. Man in motion, and it'll be a give. They had a good series last time, but it was mainly because Ray-Peck stopped running the football.
Yeah, they did. And it's pretty bad when you've got Ray-Peck fans standing up in front of our window saying, run the football, don't throw it.
We'll see if they change their approach this time. Man in motion, Hawley, and it will be a toss. This is a pretty good run. Reyes gains about 9 up to the 41.
Shane Fredrickson with the tackle.
And it'll set up a 2nd down and 1 from there.
Gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
The same guy that I'm talking about is Coach Grable, who used to be the coach of Hickman Mills when it was alive. His son is number 40 for Ray-Peck.
2nd and 1. Hawley, give Reyes left side. He'll get a 1st down. Up across the 45 to about the Panther 47. Welcome back to those folks trying to watch and listen on 810varsity.com. By the way, if we ever were to lose the signal again and you weren't aware of this, you can always pick up the audio at lswradio.com. While we were down from 810, the radio was always up, just in case we ever were to lose it again. Problem is, once you lose it, it's hard to tell people that. Toss again to Reyes, and he'll pick up about 5 into Titan territory at the 48. Yeah, we had that problem one time at a radio station I worked for where the transmitter was off the air and somebody called the station and says, well, can't you announce that? He wanted us to announce that we're off the air. Okay.
Oh, so it's kind of like what I was saying, telling people, and they, yeah, okay. Way to make me feel good, Joel. You old butthole.
Reyes on an inside give this time. Bounces off the first tackle. He was stopped after a gain of only about 1, maybe 2. Near the Titan 45. It'll set up a 3rd down and short. 3rd and about 2 as they give him the 45.
Bradley Myers and Jake Grauberger combine on the stop. 3rd and 2 for the Panthers.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. 12 minutes of football left here from Mark Files Alma Mater Stadium in Ray-Pec. Titans with the 34-17 lead. We'll take a break, come back with the fourth quarter right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here live at Panther Stadium. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Bame, Lee Summit West, and Ray-Pec, and the Titans with 13 third quarter points extend out a lead from 21-17 to 34-17 as we enter the fourth quarter of play here. But a pretty big play here, 3rd and 2. As they will toss it, Reyes, and that was not Reyes, that was actually Shanklin, and he'll get that first down and more.
Goes to Shanklin, takes
up
it
to
out
the 36.
36-yard line.
But whether it was Reyes or Shanklin, that was way too big of a hole on a 3rd and 2 play.
That'll be good
Yes, it
enough
was.
for Ray-Pec. 1st and 10, Panthers at the 36.
You know, one thing that has been pretty consistent about this Titan team this year, and obviously they've had a pretty good year, 7-1, hoping to become 8-1, as a give to Reyes on the right side, trying to weave his way through a hole. Grauberger hits him, then he's finished off by about 5 Titans. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Might have even lost a half a yard.
I think he might have lost some there.
So anyway, I was saying what was been relatively consistent about the Titans this year is a lack of ability to finish teams off. You notice that?
I've noticed that.
You know, even earlier on in the year when we had some, big leads or whatever. I mean, heck, starting with the Park Hill game. First game of the year. And we just, no matter, we haven't had leads in every game. We've had to come back a few times and so on. Back to throw Hawley, trying to throw down the far sideline, and a good defensive play.
Pass is incomplete.
By Sammy Cooper.
Nice job.
Yeah,
Sammy Cooper.
playing a little corner in this situation, and he was stride for stride and was able to knock that away. But
yeah, we're starting to see a lot more two-way players now.
Yeah,
with Clemens and Sammy and Carswell.
Well, with Vonzell Kelly down, that's where they really need the help.
Yeah.
But we've seen that earlier in the year as well. But like I said, we've allowed teams to stay in. In the situation where we've had leads, we've usually had a hard time putting teams away. Back to throw again, Hawley. He'll throw near side and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Wilson almost. If it'd been the better throw, Wilson would have intercepted it. He had the best chance to actually catch that ball.
So I've noticed that Cahill is not on the field. So hopefully there's nothing serious.
Hard to say.
With him.
Last time we saw him was on that on the fake punt.
Christian Wilson providing
that was
coverage for
early
the
in the third quarter.
4th and 11 for the Panthers.
Don't know.
At the Titan 37.
So, yeah, Cooper's been playing corner instead of Cahill, and Clemens has been playing safety instead of Kelly and then Bonker. So it's 4th down. Back to throw Hawley. They come after him. He's hit as he throws and incomplete.
Hawley's pass is incomplete. Titans will
It's
take
intended
over
for
on
Grimm, but it
Major
was
Man, get your
5
50,
yards
50
shy of him
raffle
before
tickets
by
out.
the time it bounced.
The winning
And the Titans take over on downs. So, it's funny, though. Again, the Panthers were moving the football and doing just fine until they abandoned the run, and then all of a sudden the drive stalled out.
It sure did.
482-979. Please go to the
And
back of
that,
the
once
bleachers
again,
at
is
the Project
very
Graduation
uncharacteristic of
table
Tom
to
Kerr's
claim
offense.
I'm not surprised that there is definitely a large temptation to want to throw the ball when you're down 17.
Currently not working.
We're 10:49 left to go in regulation time.
25-second clock will be kept on the field.
You'll probably hear that in the background. There's a malfunction with the 25-second clock, so they're keeping it on the field. That can be a little difficult, when you are trying to clock manage like the Titans would be, where you can't just look up and see.
Well, and that's another thing. Shane Morris is up in the press box, and Shane does, back when I was coaching there, Shane did a great job of keeping track of the time for us up in the press box. Rain Man.
So I guess they're talking with him about how they're going to relay the information to him, probably. 1st and 10 Titans from their own 37. And it is a give, left side Payne. Looked like he actually had more room on the right.
It did.
You always wonder about that sometimes, and I'm assuming that they're coached this way.
And do they have an option to cut that
right
back?
And I don't want to see him shift fields and try and go back the other way. But half the time it does look like they run into players as opposed when they could just sidestep. I'm not talking about them going all the way over to the right. I'm even just saying go around that little pile of players.
Yeah.
So 2nd down and 8 after a gain of a couple. From the pistol again. And on play action throwing, he's got Cooper caught at about the 43 up the near sideline, stays in bounds, and gets the 1st down out to around the 49. Boy, Sammy's having himself a game.
Sammy's having a very nice night.
Especially when you add in the stuff he's doing on defense now, too. Making a case for himself.
Yes, he is. Very strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dollar Hot Dogs.
Dollar Hot Dogs. What the heck are we doing up here?
Woo! How much were those tacos?
From now until they're gone.
They were 30 years ago.
The Light Shack.
Snack Shack.
Light Snack Shack. Dang. Butchered that up.
Empty backfield on 1st and 10 from their own 48. Now Payne comes in motion. He'll take the give, trying to go around left side, cuts up, and he'll gain almost 10. Looks like they're going to give him 11 to the 41 of the Panthers. 1st and 10 Titans. Clock running 45 seconds. I don't know why they didn't stop the clock yet to move the chains, because they haven't actually indicated to do it yet, but it's clearly a good yard down. Yeah. So now the about 10 seconds ran off the clock while they were trying to figure that out, which is fine for Lee Summit West.
It's excellent. How much
But
time?
there's 9:35 showing, and they'll start it up again now that they've got the.
The 25-second clock is now operating again.
So 1st and 10 Titans. On the delayed give, Max Payne again up the middle, weaving his way through, gets a 1st down and more, upended as he got to around the 25.
Nice job.
This time they stopped the clock to move the chains pretty immediately with 9:15 left to go, and some good running Max Payne. Haven't seen Marcion Marshall get a whole lot of runs in this game. Wilson has had a couple.
He's had a couple receptions.
He's been in there to block really more on a couple of 3rd down plays. So the Titans driving on the 24 of the Panthers. Coble from the shotgun. Takes the snap back to throw. He'll throw near side. It is Clemens, but incomplete. Clemens was out of bounds before he ever even touched that.
Very well defended.
Yeah.
Coach Warner would have liked that defender right there. Had his hand on his hip, pushing him out of bounds.
Mm-hmm. He would have liked it until the referee threw a flag. And then the yelling would have started.
Oh yeah.
No flag on that play. 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped with 8:54 left to go regulation time. Titans enjoying a 17-point lead, 34-17. Toss. Payne trying to get around the left side. Able to gain about 3, but it's going to set up a 3rd and long.
Well, just like what you were talking about a little earlier, Payne could have gotten to the sideline and gotten a few more yards. Instead, he cut it up into the people.
Tackle made by Wyatt Quest.
Does keep the clock moving.
3rd
8.5 and running. Coble from the shotgun has Wilson behind him this time and gives to Marshall, and he didn't get much. Had a person on him as soon as he got the ball. Was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but they'll set up a 4th down. It looks like the Titans content to just go for it here on 4th down with the ball inside the 25.
For the Titans.
I don't know. If Sappington can do it, Wiley could.
I think so.
Be about a 40-yard kick from here.
And if we miss it, the ball goes 2 yards.
To the 20, yeah. So we'll see what they do. On the other hand, we've had a pretty lethal passing attack. Back to throw. Picked up the blitz. Coble throws, and it's incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Intended for Goodall. He was hit a little bit, but not till the ball was probably there. And so the Panthers will take over with 7:25 left to go, trailing by 17.
1st and 10 Panthers at their own 22.
Now let's see what the Panthers do as far as their strategy on offense. Will they go Hawley to the air, or do they keep trying to run the ball? Which is where they've had the only success they've really had.
And West keeps Caden and Sammy out there.
Well, Cahill is clearly out of the game, whether it's, injury or what reason, I don't know, but that's what Sammy Cooper's doing, is playing cornerback. Hawley throws near side, and it is incomplete. Fredrickson broke that up. Cooper was there.
Sammy, yeah. And I tell you what, Sammy, I think, could have had it.
I thought he could have gone for another interception as well.
2nd and 10 for the
That's about the 3rd time we've said that, and they've generally not gone for the. In fact, the only one who ever did was Cahill on that fake punt attempt,
right.
And it was the wrong play. 2nd and 10. See, I'm not so sure that if I'm the Panthers, so they're in a passing formation here with twins on either side, and they do give the delayed give to Reyes and not much there. But see, I don't like that play as a running play in that.
The delay?
Yeah, in that they've had so much better success just imposing their will. And I wouldn't necessarily have a problem if I'm Tom Cruise. I would probably do exactly what they did do, which is throw it on 1st down and then come out and run it on 2nd down and see where we are on 3rd. Because I think you can keep the way they've been doing it. I think you run twice on 2nd and 3rd down and you get a 1st down. Throw down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Williams, and so now they're going to have another 4-down situation here. It looks like they are going to send in the punting unit instead.
4th down for the Panthers.
Which is basically almost like conceding here.
It is.
Because you're down 17 with 6.5 minutes left to go. If you don't go for it on 4th down, you're telling the other team you're not going to try and win anymore. I mean, it's not that they're not trying to win, but it's a concession of we're probably down too far. Cooper alone this time.
Deep for the Titans.
As Eggers standing back about his own 8. And he will step into this. Again, a left-footed kicker. Fair catch called for, and Cooper dropped it and then fell on it.
Fair catch. is
So
recovered.
Beautiful spiral punt.
yeah.
He's coming off a left foot like that.
Well, that's why that's why I mentioned it, because that's probably why Sammy dropped it more than any other reason, because he's not used to the spin.
No, you're right.
And you don't, because Sammy's one of the most sure-handed guys we have. You don't see him do that. But it's people don't realize how different it is trying to catch a punt off a left-footed punter than it is off a right-footed punter.
It is tough.
I don't think that works that way. So the Titans get the ball on their own 34 with an opportunity to certainly kill some more clock here with 6:28 left to go. Up by 17. Coble, and they're going to call Carswell for a false start. It wasn't much of one. He just sort of bobbed just a little bit.
Yep.
But it was enough.
Oh, yeah, you'll hear about that at home.
No dinner for you tonight. So it'll be 1st and 15. Coble from the shotgun. They'll pull it back from Payne. Back to throw. Now he'll chuck it down middle of the field, and it is incomplete, right in the hands of Cardell, and he missed it. And I tell you what, he threw that into double coverage. That was a situation where they really should have been able to pick that off.
And the ball came through the defender's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
But Cardell, after it did, Cardell did have it right in his. I mean, he should have caught that. So that'll set up a 2nd down and 15. Clock stop with 6:19 left to go. 19-2 North, Lee Summit North over Blue Springs South, yeah. And it is a give up the middle and a big, huge hole. Max Payne could go to the house. 25, can they catch him? 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Nice.
Max Payne, 71 yards. And the Titans extend their lead 40-17 with the extra point to come.
That was nice.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of that. And we've been talking all year about how deceptively fast Payne can be. And that was a good good illustration of it. As Wiley comes on to try and turn it into a 41-17 lead. Out of the hole to Cade Clemens. Snap back's a bit of high snap, but he gets it up, and the kick is good. So 6:08 left to go here in regulation time, and the Titans extend their lead. It is 41-17. Back with more after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When Lee Summit needs insurance, home, auto, or life, Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance has been there. Birch delivers a promise for the future and protection from the unknown, dedicated to making sure you have the right coverage to fit your individual needs. Call Wayne at 816-525-5012. That's 816-525-5012. Wayne Birch of Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area athletics.
Welcome back out to Panthers Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Bain, Lee Summit West on top of Ray-Pec. Titans 41-17 over the Panthers with 6:08 left to go regulation time. In the second half, it's been pretty much all Lee Summit West. They were leading 21-17 going into halftime. In the third quarter, it was a 29-yard pass, Coble to Trevor Cardell. That is his third touchdown catch of the game, or it was. As we get another one of these sort of squibs, goes right out of bounds. And it'll go Panther football at the 35. So
and
that
he showed a little disgust.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that one. That was actually, I think, intended to be a similar kick to the one that we recovered, where he wasn't trying to, he put a little too much air under it, but without intending to, I think. Anyway, so again, in the third quarter, that happened, 5:58 left to go. And Wiley added the extra point to make it 28-17. And then it was a 1-yard run from Max Payne. Titans had it first and goal from the 10. Payne got 9 yards. Actually, the Panthers are going to make him kick it again.
They are.
Not surprising. I mean, that's not surprising at all. It's a smart play there for Tom Cruise because he clearly has been upset with it. They've been concerned about kicking off.
Uh-huh.
And so why not make him kick it again if you've got a good return team? So anyway, after Payne got it down to the 1, 2 plays later he brought it in from 1 yard out. And the kick failed. It was blocked. And so that got us to 34-17, and then that 71-yard run from Payne, making it 41-17. And here's the kick, and it'll be a squib. This time, a harder kick down the middle, and it is taken at about the 27. Grimm, he was able to elude one guy, but then he swarmed under and stopped his forward progress. They'll blow it dead at about the 30. So it actually cost Ray-Peck about 4 yards to do that. But I don't have a problem with the idea. If I'm Tom Cruise, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, though, like I said, we were talking before about how the Panthers have really only had success on the ground. But down 41-17, I don't think you have much choice.
Let's see if they follow your philosophy.
I mean, if they may run it,
the ball.
But if they run it, they're just trying to run the clock out. Rolling right is Hawley. He will throw underneath. It is caught, hit, and tackled to Gardner, close to a first down, maybe half a yard shy. And it'll set up second down and short.
Careswell with the tackle. 2nd and 1.
5:40 left to go in regulation time. Panthers come up to the line. Hawley, Titans show blitz, but they back off. Hawley rolls away from it, or where it would have come from, throws again underneath. Gardner makes the catch, comes off one tackle, and able to get up near midfield, shy.
You know what? Tom's philosophy right here could be, hey, we got a young quarterback. Let's
give him high percentage passes.
Let's prepare for the playoffs.
Yeah, why not? I don't know how badly their regular quarterback Miller is hurt, whether this is just this week or if he's done for the year or what.
Mark, I heard you say something about...
he'll be back? Right. Was it a concussion, did you say? Yeah, so you really never know in a situation like that as they give.
Did you say
Reyes able to get to the 40.
At least in the North game, if Blue Springs South were to score...
First down for the Panthers at the tight 40-yard line.
And we would go to 1? Okay.
It still wouldn't make any difference. Because no matter... somebody else has to become the number 2 team in order... Because, again, no matter how many points they get, if they're in second and we're in first, they'll leapfrog over us because of the head-to-head. Now, the only way that changes is if the team in third becomes the team in second. And I don't know who's even in third. Okay. Throwing, far side, nice coverage there to knock it away again for Sammy Cooper. So, again, I don't know, you got that sheet over here?
Yes.
So the key, has to do with that automatic flip over where because of the head-to-head, if North finishes, so Rockhurst is now the number 3 team, according to this. Park Hill is 4th. But there is, whatever's going on today. Back to throw Hawley, near side. Oh, it was caught. Nice catch
really nice
by
catch.
Williams.
To number 9, Javon Williams.
And taken out of bounds, although he's shy of a first down.
Number 2, Christian Wilson.
So, as it stands right now, if Rockhurst wins, I don't think Park Hill could probably catch them, but they do have a chance to catch Lee Summit North. So if Rockhurst ends up in second, then the Titans could finish first. Because, they didn't play each other, so there's no leapfrog there.
Right.
The only team that can leap ahead of the Titans is North, because that's the only team we've lost to. Oh, as that goes, a little tip drill situation. Wilson couldn't quite catch it. Grimm missed it. It'll set up a 4th down.
Almost looked like
but
behind him.
It was a little behind him. He was upset, in fact, with the throw. He was looking back toward Hawley like, boy, I was open. 4:56 left to go. So I don't know what the current scores are. We'll go over that when we get to postgame, obviously. But, like you said, if North doesn't win by the 13, as they throw over the middle, and Grimm will make this catch and get a first down inside the 25 near the 21. But yeah, if Rockhurst wins by their 13 and Lee Summit North doesn't win by 13, there's at least that chance. I don't know the math of it, so I couldn't tell you what it would take in terms of just how many points. Low snap, but a good job Holly playing it, throw in. And it is caught by Williams.
Holly hooks up with Javon Williams.
To about the 13. I believe it'll be a second down from there. Rockhurst is 41-8, so they've pretty much comfortably got that 13 points.
9, 2nd and 1.
Holly will give to Reyes. Oh, he was hit in the backfield. Good play, Minifield, to knock him down, and he may have gotten a first down anyway. So let's see here. Lee Summit, by the way, 43-18 over Truman in the fourth. And Liberty North, Park Hill South, 14-10 now. That's a halftime score. Blue Springs beating Park Hill 30-23. So it doesn't look like they have any chance to catch up from the fourth spot as this run Reyes to about the 10, and that will move the chains, so it'll be basically first and goal from there.
That'll be a first and goal for the Panthers.
I'll tell you what, Blue Springs South coming off a couple wins kind of remotivated them a little bit.
Staley losing 31-7 now to Liberty. Yeah, I'm guessing that's true. Reyes, as we said before, Staley was kind of a meaningless game for them. Not much there. Clock running with 3:20 left to go in this one. And the Titans on top 41-17.
Really not a bad move.
Oh, to rest players? Not at all. Keeps you from getting anybody hurt. And there are probably some people. It's 19-2. Lee Summit North and Blue Springs South. 7:41 to go in the fourth. So if South could manage to get a late score, it would at least open the window. I don't know if, 11 points or something like that would be enough. Reyes on the left side with some running room, gets inside the 5 toward the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Panthers. Reyes from 10 yards out. Is there a flag down? There is a flag down at about the 2.
No, I think that's a marker for something.
It may be.
I thought the same thing earlier.
Yeah, there's definitely something over there, but it's not a flag. It just kind of looks like one.
Yeah, it's on both sides.
Yeah, probably a penalty kick marker for soccer. So, 40-23. It looks like they're gonna. Should be 41-23, and they're gonna go for 2 for some reason. I guess just to practice it. I don't know. And up the middle, and the conversion fails.
Goes to Fager. 2-point conversion is no good.
So it'll remain 41-23 with 2:44 left to go. We'll take a break, come back with more after this. Titans on top 41-23 on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Panther Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Boehm, Lee Summit West, and Ray Peck. Titans on top of the Panthers 41-23. Got the hands team out for a potential onside kick, which looks like what we're going to get here. You can't say they aren't trying. Sappington's kick. And it doesn't look like it may go 10 yards. It does, and they're going to get it.
Onside kick is recovered by the Panthers.
How do you, as a defending team, there just stand around and allow that guy?
Especially right in front of Caden.
Yeah.
With the recovery, 1st and 10.
I mean, literally, there were no Titans even made an attempt for the ball. They just waited for it to go across the 10 yards and made the recovery. So the Panthers will get the ball here. It's really kind of irrelevant for the Titans at this point.
Yeah.
But, I know that a lot of people are wondering, that the Rockhurst, Hawklets, and Broncos, Lee Summit North, have the same record, 6-2 going into the week. They'll both be 7-2. But the question was whether or not could Rockhurst make up the points. Oh, interception. Great play, Cam Careswell, to knock that out of midair and come down with the interception. And the Titans take over on the Panthers 40. What a play.
Very nice play.
Yeah.
There is an official's timeout for an injured Panther.
So, anyway, the way that Misha works it, to discourage coaches from running up scores or whatever, the most you can get points-wise in a game is 13. So if you win 40-0 or if you win 13-0, it looks exactly the same as far as the points are concerned. And so because of the fact that now Rockhurst is going to get that plus 13 easily, but if Lee Summit North gets 13 as well and they're ahead of them now, I don't see any way that Rockhurst, unless there was some sort of a bonus because of the strength of schedule situation, which is possible.
Possible.
What's kind of weird about the situation is, again, with the way the rules are in terms of flipping players, I'd have to reread that rule in terms of it says if you I don't know, does Lee Summit North and Rockhurst play this year?
They did not.
Yeah. If they had and Rockhurst had beaten them, who flips first? In other words, when I read that rule, I know that it's an automatic. When two teams are next to each other in the standings, the head-to-head situation takes over. So, but if you had a 1-2-3 situation and the 3 team beat the 2 team and the 2 team beat the 1 team, who flips first? As there is a give up the middle. Gain to about 2 on the play for Wilson on the carry. Max Payne may be done for the day. That's it. I think that's a good way to end your game, is with a 70-yard touchdown run, 71-yard. I don't think you put him back in. Thank you. You've been a lovely audience. It's what you call leaving on a high note.
Second and 8 from the 38.
Well, I'm surprised to see our stud receivers still out there, too.
Yeah. Clock is running. We're down to 1:55. The 25-second clock is not working again, by the way. And it'll be a handoff again to Wilson, trying to get around the left side. He cuts up. He'll get across the 35 down, and boy, stayed on his feet that whole time. He's going to be close to a first down. See where he mark him.
Handoff goes to Taylor Wilson.
It still says 19-2, Lee Summit North, 7:41 to go in the fourth.
Tackle made by number 20.
And they did get that first down, by the way.
First and 10 Titans at the 29.
Clock is down under 90 seconds left to go now. Titans on 1st and 10. Give to Wilson. He was hit at the line.
And
no gain.
Number 21, Taylor Wilson.
So if the Titans started to kneel out at this point, do you think Tom Cruise stops the clock? He's got 3 timeouts.
I don't think he would.
So why aren't they doing that then?
It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 30.
I still don't understand if you can't do a fake kneel, why they can just have a play where you tell the referees, I'm going to kneel, and they don't actually make you do it.
Yeah, if I... There it is.
They're getting into that formation now. And again, with the 25-second clock not working, he's having to rely on the officials to tell him with hand gestures when he can. So that's going to be the last play.
Koba will take a knee, and that'll be the final play.
And the Lee Summit West Titans will finish off their regular season 41-23 winners over Ray-Pec.
Conference champs.
And they win so you get like a banner for that or something?
You get a little marquee out there on our board out there by the stadium.
Okay. So good job. They took care of business when all was said and done. It was maybe closer than they wanted in the first quarter, but coming away with 20 points in the second quarter and only giving up 6. By the end of the day, they got their plus 13. Not that it really made any difference anyway. So now it's just a matter of who wins and what happens between Rockhurst and that's a big deal now too, because if we end up as the number 2 seed with Rockhurst as the number 3 seed, we would play them in the second round of the districts if both teams advance.
Right.
And I think with Park Hill's situation, I don't think there's any way they can catch Rockhurst in what happened there. So
I don't know. In my opinion, I like the number 2 spot.
I don't know. We'll see. It's not like we have any choice anyway.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is going to happen. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing. All right, final score 41-23. We'll step aside for a couple minutes, come back with Postgame coming up right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
The year was 1881, and young Reuben Beeler was making his way along near the Missouri River, finding work when he could and living the only life he knew. But when he come on old Arliss Height, beat to hell and near shot to death, Rube done what he could for him. He didn't know that act of kindness was going to wind up changing his whole life, but it did. Green as grass, Rube was a long way from being any kind of pistolier or shootist, but when Marshal Marion Daniels come on him and needed help with the Duncan bunch for what they'd done to Arliss, that tussle growed Rube up right quick. He stopped drifting, found friends worth looking up to, and a young woman that was right admirable.
Deer Run Trail by David Lewis. Available as an e-audiobook at audible.com.
Welcome back out here to Panther Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Boehm, Mark Files alongside, as well as the Lee Summit West Titans finish up the regular season 8-1 with a rather convincing win, 41-23 over the Ray-Pec Panthers. And Coach Boehm has our final numbers.
Well, I think Coach Carswell just told the team that they were conference champs and they deserve every bit of it to celebrate. Real quick on some stats. On total offense for the visiting team, Lee Summit West ended up with 510 yards. Through the air was 323 for the Titans. On the ground was 187. Not a bad little balance there. Big play, though, there in the fourth quarter. Receiving, 323. We just talked about that. There we go. Ray Peck ended up with 355 yards. Total offense, 161 passing, 194 rushing. And once again, we still didn't understand why Tom didn't pound the ball a little bit more like he usually does, because that could have been a difference in the ball game here tonight.
Got a final, by the way, now, and North, Lee Summit North, 19-2 winners over Blue Springs South, which means they do get their plus 13. So the only way that now Blue Springs South is not high on the strength of schedule this year.
No.
But the only way that Rockhurst could possibly jump ahead of them and leave the Titans in a number 1 seed because they wouldn't flip with Rockhurst would be if their strength of schedule is enough to make up the difference, because both teams are going to be a win plus 13.
Very nice. Excuse me. Time of possession was for Ray Peck was 28 minutes 17 seconds. For Lee Summit North was Lee Summit West. Again, they're talking about Lee Summit North jumping number 1.
Yeah, that was clearly my
three.
fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Joel.
Uh-huh.
Lee Summit West 19-18 time of possession for them. First downs, Lee Summit West 20, Ray Peck 24. Ben Coble was 13 for 20 for 323, 4 TDs.
Which Jeff City team is Rockhurst playing?
Jeff City Jays.
I don't know where they would be on the strength of schedule area. Probably, I mean, they couldn't be any worse than Blue Springs South, but
They got a record of 4-4 right now. Be 4-5.
so that's better than Blue Springs South, but I don't know that it's going to be enough to give them enough points to jump ahead of Lee Summit North. I doubt it. Unfortunately, we won't know till Sunday. I'm pretty sure Sunday's when they come out with the final rankings. You can check Misha.org.
Max Payne tonight, 11 attempts for 129 yards, 11.7 average. Trevor Cardell led receiving with 3 receptions for 160 yards. Cade Clemens, 2 receptions for 78. Sammy Cooper, 5 for 61. On defense, Jake Grauberger led the team with 4 tackles. Not bad of a night.
No. So, yeah, the Rockers score is 41-8. All it says is fourth quarter. I can't tell you when in the fourth quarter, but it's late enough that that Rockers is clearly going to be a win plus 13. And as I said, it's a final at Lee Summit North, 19-2 over Blue Springs South. But that means they'll be a winner plus 13 as well.
Mark said quarterback for Lee Summit North went down. Paramedics on the sideline, family on the sideline with him, so hopefully no serious injury there.
Yeah, we'll have to sort of keep our eyes on it and see what happens, but yeah, it's we hope for the best. The latest score we have in the Liberty North Park Hill South game, and it looks if we finish in second like Liberty North will be our opponent, by the way. The last we have as an update is 14-10 at halftime at Park Hill South.
Well, the fun starts, boys.
Yep. All right, so player of the game. Any thoughts?
Oh, I'm going to lean towards Sammy Cooper.
I think he's a good choice. I think you could also make a real good case for Trevor Cardell. Obviously, what did he end up with? 3 touchdown catches and 100-some-odd yards or whatever?
And, Max Payne's right in there, too, with his
well, that was the other thing, too, although, so much of it came on that one run. But he did a good job. And so because of that, I think that all splits the vote, and we end up having to give it to Coble. I mean, what did he do badly in this game?
No, he didn't.
I mean, because, again, it's not like he had, 4 touchdown catches? Touchdowns, no interceptions, threw for over 300 yards, ran for a couple of first downs here and there as well when he needed to. This was actually the closest game that he has had to the beginning of the season when he was more of a, veteran quarterback / field general.
Right. No, you know what? I would vote for him. But
Cool.
I'm just saying Sammy, though. I mean,
No, I agree.
too.
We talked about it, because he played both ways. I mean, Cade Clemens did that as well, and so on. So, I think you can make a good case for both of them. You
know what? And they threw to Sammy's side.
Yeah.
And Sammy shut him down.
Every time they did, The only thing that I would say is that, being a receiver himself anyway, I would have liked to have seen him come up with an interception or two because I think he really could have.
Yes, he could have.
But it didn't end up happening, unfortunately. So, I was trying to see if we'd get any late updates here. Because we can't look ahead to next week's game because we won't know. We don't know yet who next week's game's going to be against. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Any other scores we were trying to keep an eye on? Because I got them all here in front of me. Before we call it a night.
Final North Kansas City Raytown.
Okay. Is it in North Kansas City? Or
yes, it is. North Kansas City.
All right, so it'll be right here. It's 28-all with 2:57 left to go in the fourth.
What a game. Tell you what, Class 5 is going to be very interesting this year.
Yeah. Staley ended up getting pounded. 31-7 was the final Liberty.
Yeah,
and like
Mark,
you said,
Mark said something about resting their guys.
Probably resting people. But that was just a guess, wasn't it? Yeah. But it could be the case. That Liberty had more to play for, certainly, than Staley did. I think they pretty much wrapped up their top seed. And so that's probably the smart thing to do in that scenario. So let's see. Any further updates? Jeff City Rockhurst still just says fourth quarter, 41-8. But I think that's pretty much a done deal at this point, you would think. So really the only question is we know what's happened. We just don't know how the math will work out. So the scenario is simply this. If, the Titans have by far the most points and the best record in the district. However, because of this weirdo rule there is in Misha that says that if two teams are next to each other in the standings, if they're 1-2 or 2-3 or 3-4, and the lower-seeded team beat the upper-seeded team in head-to-head competition, they automatically flip their seeding positions. So, if the Titans finish next to Lee Summit North, because of the loss to Lee Summit North, North would jump ahead of the Titans, regardless of their record or any other thing. But that only applies if the two of them are right next to each other in the standings. So right now, going into the game, the Titans were in the top position, and Lee Summit North was in the number 2 spot.
What was their thinking of even putting that rule in?
I have no idea. You couldn't.
I just don't understand that at all.
It makes no sense, with the exception of if that happened to be a tiebreaker. In other words, if it only applied if the teams had the same record.
How many times did we go through with West and then being a vote whether you'd be tied when you were in Class 4 and Class 5?
A couple of times when there were 3 teams involved.
Yeah, when Lee Summit and Lee Summit West and gosh, I forget who the other team was, but you were all right there together.
Sometimes it was, wasn't it Ray-Peck one year?
Yeah, a couple times.
So and they've gotten rid of the voting thing, which is probably a nice thing. Although again, I hate it when it's an absolute, which is But in this scenario, if they finished first and Lee Summit North finishes second, Lee Summit North will get the top seed, and the Titans slip down to number 2. Going into this week's games, the Titans had the top spot, and the Broncos were second, and the Hawklets were third, and only separated by a very small amount of points. Going into the game, North had 39.71 points, whereas Rockers was at 38.55. In comparison, the Titans 41.27, so they were almost 2 points ahead. Park Hill is pretty much out of it at this point at 37.79, 5-3. So they're going to stay. Well, actually, Liberty has a possibility of flipping over, but that only determines where the game will be played between them and Park Hill in the 4 versus 5. Lee Summit is right now the 6th team, and Liberty North is 7th, and Ray-Peck is 8th. With this loss, Ray-Peck is guaranteed to stay 8th. Mm-hmm. And Liberty North is going to end up guaranteed in that 7 position. They can't catch Lee Summit. But if Rockhurst... And again, both Rockhurst and Lee Summit North won their games. They both won their games by over 13 points, while Rockhurst is probably going to beat their opponent by a lot more than Lee Summit North beat theirs at 19-2 and 40-8, but it is irrelevant. Once you get beyond 13 points, it makes no difference. Right. And so at this point, they're both wins plus 13. The only real question is if the strength of schedule of the opponent of Rockhurst is enough higher than Lee Summit North's strength of schedule because they played Blue Springs South, which is a relatively low-end team this year in Class 4, whereas Rockhurst played Jeff City, which is also not real high, but they're ahead of Blue Springs South. Blue Springs South 2-7. This Jeff City team is going to be 4-5. So that should give Rockhurst slightly more points when they earned this Mark Files alma mater stadium. Anyway, so Rockhurst will get slightly more points that they will earn with this victory than Lee Summit North will, but will it be enough? And I don't think so. But I don't honestly know the math well enough to be able to figure it out in my head. Yeah. If I knew the formula they used for it, I might be able to, but I don't. And so we'll just have to wait till Misha comes out with it. That'll be on Sunday morning, generally, and then we'll know who we play. If Rockhurst jumps ahead of Lee Summit North, the Titans will finish first, and we'll play Ray-Peck again, although the difference will be they'll play them at home instead of here. But they would play them again next Friday at 7. And then, if they end up with as the 2nd seed despite having the best record in the district, they would play Liberty North. And again, either way, the game will be at home for Lee Summit West.
Well, the next 2 games should be take care of business, should be at home.
Well, by definition, they would have to be. Right. Either if they're going to play the 2 games, they would be at home. Right. The only way the 2nd game isn't at home is if they lose the first game, and then they're done. So it doesn't matter. So, and then depends on the situation as far as what the 3rd game might entail. But one of the big deals as far as the way this is playing out is that if you think Rockhurst is the 2nd best team in the district, especially with Lee Summit North's quarterback potentially being out for the playoffs,
that's big.
Then we have a situation where if the Titans end up the number 2 seed, they will play what is essentially the district championship game in the 2nd round instead of the 3rd.
Yep.
And that's something you want to avoid. But, I mean, you can say that, but the truth of the matter is that one way or another you're going to end up having to go through Rockhurst to get out of the district anyway, whether they ended up playing in 4th, or 2-3, or if they play 1-4 and then play them in the finals. Right. Either way,
you're going to probably end up having to go through Rockhurst. And if you don't, then the team that you're playing against is probably better than Rockhurst. So, that's why, as much as you always have these kinds of discussions about things, when all is said and done, you got to play the hands the cards you're dealt, and just see what happens. So next week, again, it will be at Lee Summit West. We just don't know against whom. 7 o'clock, if you can come out and support the team from there, well, great. If not, tune us in on 810.com. We'll have all the action for you next week for the alum, Mark Files, and the kid, Alec. And the coach, Royce Bain. This is Joel Becker, the final score for the final time. 41-23, Titans over the Panthers here on Titan Football. A presentation of Ackport Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.